Hello everyone and welcome back to the Twitch Lounge, where I am going to be interviewing some of the biggest personalities in esports and gaming. And certainly I've got one of those on the couch with me right now. It is the man behind one of the world's biggest gaming organisations, Team Dignitas. It is Michael "ODEE" Odell. So, lots to talk about. I think people would best know you from League of Legends at the moment, I think, which would be perhaps a bit unfair.
Yeah.
Do you disagree with that statement?
Maybe, but I would say, yeah, it's unfair. I would hope there's other communities that know me. But League of Legends is big.
I'd certainly know you, but I mean, just in terms of right now, I mean, League of Legends is big in a way that perhaps a lot of the games that you've represented down the many, many years you've been doing this, you know, have never quite achieved.
Yeah, League is pretty big, I must admit.
So we'll probably start there. Big changes for the Team Dignitas squad.
Yep.
First and foremost, we saw Skara, leave to be a coach at CLG, an organisation you are friendly with at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment.
What were the motivations behind that? Because I mean, I think a lot of people, and I saw comments like this on Reddit. A lot of people were like, "Oh, Skara is so synonymous with Team Dignitas and the Dignitas brand. It's not going to be the same now without him. It's not going to be quite the same." So, was it a tough choice for you to sort of allow him to go somewhere else, or?
Well, it was fully his choice, to be honest. So we gave him option to be Season 5 coach, and he chose another option, maybe a bit prematurely from when he was supposed to, but that's another matter. And he's gone to do something new, which I respect, and his reasons for doing that, you got to respect that. So he hasn't left on bad blood with me. Like we still speak in terms, and that's what happens in esports. Like people come and go, and they change around. So yeah, it's synonymous with the team because he's been with us 3 years. So we've done a hell of a lot of stuff in 3 years, and we've had a really fun journey, to be perfectly honest. But he's at an age where he's got to decide what his future is, and he decided CLG is the option he wants to go for now, and good luck to him, to be honest. But it doesn't stop us, we carry on, and we've got almost everything in place to get ready for Season 5 now.
Well, why do you think he chose CLG? It seems a bit strange to me, because they almost got relegated.
I couldn't answer that. I haven't actually asked him that specific question in detail. Like his reasons to us when he told us what he was doing was he just wanted a new challenge, and to be fair, I've done that in my life, and sometimes you have to do that. So yeah, we move on, and he moves on, and good luck.
So the other big change is obviously QTPie, making the decision to sort of step down from competitive play and just focus on being a streamer and maybe come back. He's intimated he might. How did that all come about? Like, did he just come in and have a conversation with you one day and said, right, this is happening? Was it a surprise to you?
To be honest, it was a little bit of a surprise. So I started chatting to him at PAX when I shared a room with him, like, "Cutie, what do you want to do for Season 5? And he wanted to play. It makes me laugh when you hear these players, these old school players. He's 21.
Yeah.
The hell? Like, he can play when he wants. But thanks to Twitch for him, he's earning a shitload of money. And you can't blame the guy for wanting to go and chase the money. It's a hell of a lot of money he earns streaming. Whether he comes back as a pro LCS player, I couldn't tell you. Like, Cutie, you don't know what he's doing from one day to the next, to be honest. Whatever he does, he'll be successful. I think he's made enough now to set himself up. And to be, if I say to be honest once more, Ty, and to be fair, he's a friend. So I wanted to make sure that he was okay, and I tend to look after players that have been through Dignitas and not cause me any hassle. And yeah, Cutie was one of them. Although he did cause me a hell of a lot of hassle, to be honest. But it was fun.
I was going to say, first time I met QTPie, it was at an IEM event, and he'd fallen asleep on a bench.
Yeah,
and missed his flight.
Well, he flew to Madrid. He missed his flight in Madrid to Cologne or wherever it was. Spent his money on a new flight. Flew to Hanover, which was the wrong city. Rang me when I was stuck on a train, Eurostar, which had broken down outside Paris, and said, "Odie, come get me. I'm in Hanover." And I'm like, "You're supposed to be in bloody wherever we were, Hamburg, Hanover, whatever." So yeah, he fell asleep on a bench for 14 hours. So we were doing Tannoy announcements, Mr. Santana, will you answer the bloody phone? And eventually he did.
Yeah, that was like literally the first time I ever met him was when he just turned up from that like mad escapade.
Yeah, we had some good fun. One of my most fun times actually was at PAX recently when Cutie Pie and I spent a whole evening together trying to win a cuddly toy for Alicia. And it was ridiculous. We spent about $300 trying to win a $20 toy, but it was fun.
Is it a problem that we're in this situation now in regards to streaming where, like you said, you described it as a shit ton of money. It is obviously lots that he makes. He's a top streamer. Everybody loves his stream. I even subscribe to it, frankly.
So do I.
Yeah. Is it a problem? Do you think that because you have to put so much in to be a competitor, hour after hour of practice, the travel, the stress, the hate from the supposed fans, the hate from the haters. It's a brutal, regimen to put yourself through for less money than what you can earn as a top streamer.
Yeah, it is. But I think most top professional players in all of esports, they want to do it because they want to win, and they're driven to win, and that's why they do it. Twitch coming along and giving people an opportunity to earn a lot of money streaming on the side. That's one way of looking at it. And then people like Cutie Pie, if you get to a certain amount where you're earning so much money and your motivation wanes from coming fifth every year, it's going to happen. It's inevitable. And that's why all sports teams change players and personnel. It's a tough one, which I can't answer my full thoughts on it yet because it's still so new to me. But from my own personal point of view as an ex-player, I did what I did to win. I wish the money was around when I played, but still, anyway.
Same here.
Yeah, that's true. So
the biggest prize I ever got was a silver PlayStation 2.
Well, at least you won something.
Yeah, true.
But many people don't win anything. But being a pro player, it's vocational. You have to sacrifice, seriously. Like, you can't be at the top level without a lot of sacrifice. And I don't think a lot of people understand what you go through to get to that level, especially LCS now with the gaming houses. Like, you're moving away from home at a young age. You're stuck in a house with 5 guys that don't clean the house, and I think it's very lonely. I do, because you're practicing for most of the time. So you have to be pretty tough to actually want to keep doing it. So yeah, but when I hear these retirements, like most of the players, the old school players that have retired in League, they're still like early 20s.
Early 20s.
Yeah. It's
yeah, it does make me laugh. I mean, I think it says a lot about esports when it's like, the 23-year-old veteran. You're not a veteran at anything at 23, are you?
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I'd like to see some of those old school players come back and actually compete and have the drive to actually get in there with the youngsters and try and beat them.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see that in the coming seasons.
Maybe you can pick up a Dignitas old boys kind of team.
I'm not allowed to own 2 teams though. That's the problem. So.
Oh yeah. We don't want to get
don't get into
that again, do we?
Yeah.
So look, I know you're overhauling the League of Legends, team at the moment, and you've not confirmed who the players are, and indeed you couldn't, or you'd get fined. I think probably. At this juncture.
I think no, I could actually because. Yeah, no, I wouldn't get fined. I can announce them when I want.
Well, okay, good. I'm glad I got here, but still no announcement yet.
No, what the ruling is, you basically have to have permission for the players to be in the league. So they have to do their background checks on them. You get approval. You sign some forms, then they're approved. That's it. Then you can announce. I think otherwise I'm going to get fined for us announcing them soon.
But I mean, do you think this new look Dignitas with these potentially foreign players? That you may or may not have picked up. Do you think this is a stronger entity to past Dignitas teams?
I think right now, yes, because this group that we have now, they have the drive. They're happy with what we've done, the way we've changed our setup, the internal setup as well. It's not just the case, like I read Reddit, I'm still shadow banned from Reddit, probably is a good thing because I swear a lot more. But I read a lot of Reddit, and it's as soon as you sign a player, that isn't it. It isn't just that simple, right?
No.
Like, you can't just throw them in the team. So what we've done, we've had a lot of stick that we haven't announced them. We've done it on purpose, not to annoy Reddit, because I'm sorry, but Reddit isn't the be-all and end-all of everything. We wanted to get these guys into the house and see how they gel with the team. And give it a couple of weeks. Like, we had no rush to announce them. LCS doesn't start until January. I really wanted to go to IEM Cologne. The fan vote for us was pretty sad, to be honest. I hate the fan votes. I think they're complete crap. I'm going to say, to be honest again. And I don't like them. But I wanted to go. I want to go compete. And IEM is a place where I want our new team to go, compete competitively.
Why do you not like the fan votes?
I just think you're never going to get a true picture of the teams at the time. So what I would prefer is to do a mini tournament. Why don't you just get those teams and do a mini tournament online? People will watch it. You'll see the state of those teams at that point. The best team can go to a tournament. That's how I would like to see it.
Yeah.
I don't like the votes.
Well, you end up with the unicorns of love.
Yeah, and I don't know anything about them because I only look at NAC. Sorry, but from my point of view, I want to see teams compete. Some of the teams that were in that vote don't even have a lineup yet. Yeah. So why are they in the vote anyway? But that's just my opinion. That's just the way I feel about it. But luckily, we got the opportunity to go because other teams can't. We're good to go, so we're going.
Yeah, I'm glad about that. I mean, it's like you said, it's a shame you've had to kind of almost go to the last chance saloon just to get there.
Yeah, it's annoying, but even if we hadn't gone, we have had a plan in place of what we're going to do. So another reason we haven't announced the team is because we just wanted them to play some games together. We haven't even got to scrims yet. We wanted a couple of weeks of them just having fun, and our guys are having a lot of fun. There's a lot of speculation on who our team is, and all the Reddit detectives will probably work out what they might be and who's been playing with who, but that's literally all I wanted. And my North American manager, Melixia, he and I have set out a plan straight after PAX, like this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to bring people in, this is how we're going to change the house.
I think it makes sense, but there's probably not a lot of people realise this because it never gets reported upon, but there's been several instances of players going to team houses and after one day they're at breaking point and they need to go home. They weren't ready. Yeah. They've been announced on the team. You know, I can name several. You know, even in Counter-Strike, if people have like tried to make things work. It's definitely happened in League. I'm sure people know who the name is. And it's a big risk to sort of do the announcement first and then hope it's gonna work out.
Yeah, like we took a risk in after the spring split where we bought Zion and Shifter. Who knows what would have happened? We didn't know. We just bought them. Right, okay, let's hope it works. And it kind of worked to start with, and then it went horribly wrong. Why, I don't know. Still can't work that one out. But we wanted to get these guys in the house, see what they think. The two new guys, never been to LA before. See if they like it. Like, took them to the beach, show them what the place is like, show them what the local area is. Because it's not like normal esports, LCS, where you'll go to a tournament like DreamHack, and then you'll go to the hotel, and then DreamHack, hotel, fly home. When you're living in LA, you're on the street there. You go to the shops, you go downtown, you get used to LA traffic. So we wanted to make sure the guys like understood where they are. Get their thoughts on their teammates, get their teammates' thoughts on the new guys. Touch wood, so far it's going to plan. And I think scrims start Monday.
So just one last question in regards to the League of Legends thing, and I don't know if it's anything you can talk about. But you made the tweet about the poached eggs, and I know it's something you've been around a long time. You're a very experienced manager, and there is an undercurrent. I'm noticing it that to certain teams and certain organisations in certain games, it's almost like contracts don't exist. They don't seem to take them seriously. They feel they're above having to adhere, to any rules and regulations. And I don't just mean for the game. This is a point of law. If you attempt to tap someone up and make them break a contract, it's a legal thing. It's got nothing to do with esports. It's a legal thing. So, I mean, do you think we need to start clamping down? There needs to be action taken against
deliberate poaching, yes, because for me, LCS is it's raised the bar on esports from a professional level. There are not just contracts with Riot. There's contracts with the players. There's contracts between me and Riot. There was a deadline day this year where you could not speak to a contracted player. 20th of October. We actually had a player from another American team approach us in August and say, "ODEE, can I talk to you about Season 5?" And I said, "I cannot talk to you. Go go away. If you want to talk to me, get your team to give me permission.
Yeah.
And he did. The team emailed me and said, you can talk to that guy. So if I can do that, why can't other people?
Yeah.
So if there's a rule, stick to the rule. But if it stays like the Wild West, like we've had for the last 15 years, it's never going to change and never develop into a real professional sport. And like you said, there's real legal implications now in esports. And there's a lot of money involved, and people's jobs on the line on the time, not just players' jobs. A lot of the organisations have staff.
I was going to say, like whole brands could, be potentially impacted.
Yeah, it's So it seriously needs to be looked at, and that's all I'm going to say on it, because I don't think anything's been announced or decided by any party on any maybe poaching that might have happened.
So let's talk about Counter-Strike for a bit, because it's an exciting time.
Yeah, we actually won.
Yeah, you won.
2 games in a row.
Very exciting.
Yeah, we're not used to that in Dignitas. The new team we're used to it, but the old teams, they never won.
It's not the semis yet. It's not the semis and the quarters. But I mean, a lot of drama in the Counter-Strike scene, and again, people maybe don't realise this if they're new to Counter-Strike and CS:GO. But obviously, you did manage one of the most successful UK teams. And the most successful 1.6 team prior to that.
They came 9th at ESWC once.
Yeah, I heard that from a certain chap called Luke Critical Green.
I was there,
But yeah, so I mean, you've been around the Counter-Strike scene. There's never been any scandals like that. I mean, there's never been anything like this that's really blown up. I mean, how grim do you think this whole vacking, all this cheating scandal actually is for the game?
I think it will pass over quickly. I don't think organisations or Valve will ignore this and try and hide it under the rug. And like DreamHack here, taking away phones and having the config. So yeah, that's a step forward. But why wasn't this being done years ago?
You said they do this in other games as part of the course that they do.
Yeah. Even CGS 2008, they took your phones away. LCS, they take your phones away. So that's a no-brainer. It pisses me off when I see players on their phone just before a game, or even worse, mid-game, like, oh, that was a good shot. Like, what the hell? So yeah, that sort of stuff annoys me. But there are cheats out there. There's always been cheats in gaming. For any pro or semi-pro player to use a cheat, what's wrong with their brains? That's my question to anybody that's done that. But that individual, I feel so sorry for Titan and Epsilon. Those brands have been around, well, Epsilon a lot longer, but Titan, top CS brand, top team. One guy fucks up, sorry, it's live. The whole team gets punished, which I don't like, because that happened to me when I was 15 years old. I played in an American football team. We got to the semi-final of the national competition, and one of our players ran over to another team and bopped someone. We got thrown out of the whole thing. When I was standing, I'm like, what happened? I didn't even see it. So I don't like the fact that the organisations have been thrown out of DreamHack, because it's not their fault. Losing a top player in a top team is punishment enough, to be honest, I think, because you can't just throw somebody in like we just spoke about. So that seriously needs to be looked at by the organisations that are dishing out punishments. But yeah, it's quite a bad thing, of course. The answer to it, I don't know, because there's a lot of discussions going on here, people are chatting to each other. But there are financial implications again with that. So Titan lose out on sticker money, which is the big hot topic at the moment.
Well, we'll come to that in a second, but here's what I wanted to ask you. As a team that's been accused of being chokers, and that you get to the quarters and you get to the semis and you come up against the likes of the Titans and the Epsilons and perhaps other teams that we won't name, who may or may not be cheating right now, and people have said probably at this tournament, but actually not true. No, I don't think anyone would cheat. That would be stupid.
They would get beaten to a pulp.
Yeah, but do you look at that and think, well, maybe my team weren't chokers, maybe we got cheated against?
No, I don't even think like that. I think top professional players should be able to beat cheats. I really do. I really can't think anybody used to cheat in an actual tournament on LAN. I know it's happened in the past, but I don't know. Like, with a team, you've got the whole dynamic around an event. Like, what's happening before the tournament? Like, what was the practice like leading up to a tournament? Are there guys in your team doing exams? Are the girlfriends causing a problem? Is there stuff going on at home? Are they didn't get enough sleep? You just don't know what happens on the day. Yeah, it's a really tough one, but no, I wouldn't say we don't. I wouldn't even think that.
But I know we talked about this a little bit, but I definitely wanted to ask you again when we did the interview, because I think this is a super important development. But I've talked to several organisation managers, people in positions like yourself, that are now talking about, well, when we pick up all players, but in particular Counter-Strike, we need to start putting clauses in the contracts. Yep. We need to start saying if you get caught cheating, you're liable because of the damage it does to the brand, to the team.
Yeah, so as soon as I saw that last week or whenever it was, I had to go straight to my lawyer and say, what do you think of this? And it took me an hour to explain the implications. I needed legal advice on where we go forward, because it's got a big impact on, like I said, I feel so sorry for those orgs that are not here because of one idiot or two idiots, whoever it was. So it doesn't just interfere with prize money, interferes with in-game sales, interferes with sponsors, interferes with your fan base. You might get fans burning your shirts. It affects everything, and that doesn't just affect the players, it affects the org, it affects the staff and the persona around those organisations. It's just really bad.
And of course, it could affect sales of stickers, right? So
yeah, well, exactly. So what happens to Titan? They get no money. So that's a big chunk of money, whatever their deal is with the players and whatever the org gets, that they don't have, which they might have been budgeting for. Oh yeah, we're going to get that. Let's budget this, spend that on this amount of money. And now they don't have it, which is where, those players are,
Well, let's talk about your situation with the sticker money. I read an article, well, I didn't really read it, I think I skim read it would be a better description. There was an article recently where you were accused of being naughty, which made no sense to me.
I think I was blatantly accused of stealing.
That might have been how it was worded.
That was a stupidly written article which was taken down. The wording was changed.
So it was written by Lurpus on HLTV?
Yep.
Right, okay.
I complained to Half-Life TV about the wording. They changed the wording. It's like how they know what's in our contract with our players. Even when on that post you've got the rest of our team saying, what do you know, like, we're happy, blah, 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 blah. And there's still no retraction, there's no apology.
So tell me what you were accused specifically of, and what was it?
I think we were accused of just completely taking all of the sticker money from our players, which is not what happened at all.
Okay.
What happened internally on that, I won't say, because that's contractual obligation between me and my players. We have a really good percentage that we give to our players of the stickers. And don't forget, for the orgs, the stickers are the org's logo. So it's a merchandise deal, basically. It's a royalty. And how the organisation, if they want to, filters that down to their players, it's completely up to them. But when you have your players telling Half-Life TV, we're happy, and there's still no retraction, it's quite annoying.
So there's two organisations, and again, I won't name them, but I know of an organisation that actually retains all of the sticker money, and they keep it all on the basis that, as you say, it's our logo, it's our intellectual property.
Yep.
We keep it. Whichever players go and represent our brand, people are supporting us, our brand.
Yep.
And they keep all of it. I know another team that give all of it to the players, and they say, the players are what make it possible for us to compete at that tournament, so we wouldn't even get that money because we wouldn't have a team at that tournament, so we give it all to them as a nice little incentive.
Yeah.
Which one, if you had to pick one, who do you think makes the more compelling argument?
You don't know what else is going on, you don't know what the salaries are, you don't know if there are salaries. You don't know, do we go to every single event in the world? Do we go to 2 events a year? You don't know what the deal is. There's so much more involved. I'd love to get somebody from Valve to sit down and say, why do we do these stickers? Is it so Valve make lots of money? Or is it so that, like Riot do in-game summoner icons, so that the teams can support themselves? And I'm pretty sure Riot will continue to do that. come out with a lot more so that the teams get more money till eventually one day Riot stop paying us and we're already self-sufficient. So I'd love someone from Valve to sit down and give their thoughts, because they were going to do the individual player stickers.
Yeah, well, that's going to happen, I think. Still.
So that was going to happen.
They didn't have any time for this event, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, so for that particular thing, from my point of view, I would want the players to get 100% of an individual that's his name sticker. Teams might have other deals where it's like 20% because you're part of us, we're paying salaries. That's all negotiable. But off the top of my head right now, individual player stickers, that's yours. The in-game stickers that has a Team Dignitas logo on, that's negotiable.
Yeah.
But I love someone from Valve to sit down and give their actual, why do you do this? And like, is it to support the teams? Is it to support everything? Is it to support the ecosystem? Or is it to make even more money when people start trading them?
Well, it's a recurring thought, actually, that Valve don't necessarily have the greatest communication with, people like yourself who run organisations, teams. It does seem to be a little bit almost cloudy. We don't know exactly, as you say, what we're supposed to do with the money. Is there a guideline that you would like?
Yeah, definitely. I've probably had 2-3 emails from Valve in the last 15 years. That's it. So I don't even know what the royalty is on the stickers. Yeah. So yeah, it'd be nice to speak to somebody. Hopefully there are people from Valve here. Somebody can introduce me.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a meeting. So just some other quick questions. I know that you've been around for a long time. You pick up lots of teams from many different games. I mean, some people from games that I don't even know. That's a game now, is it? That's an esport now.
Trackmania.
Yeah, you've got an Angry Birds team, haven't you?
No.
I'm just joking. But it's there's a lot of new things on the horizon, new things happening. What are you going to be moving into next?
Nothing specific. Like shoring up this year. Like this year reminds me very much of 2009, but in a bigger way. So in 2009, the recession hit.
Yeah, I was going to say, the financial collapse.
And this year, it just seems to me there's a lot of good and there's a lot of money coming into the game. But from the sponsorship side and the actual economic side in the real world, it's very stagnant at the minute, which it worries me that a lot of people are actually spending more than spending actually everything they've got on what they're trying to do. And if a crash hits again, after seeing 2009, I don't want to happen to any team, to be honest, because it's really tough and it will put esports back another couple of years.
Oh yeah, big time.
So the scene now is pretty vibrant, but that just worries me a bit. What's really going on in the economic world? Do people actually realise what's happening? Yeah. It scares me a bit.
So you're not going to be making any bold expansions? Because, I mean, lots of people are getting into things like Hearthstone, for example.
We got Hearthstone.
Yeah, but I mean, they've marquee signings now because the game's growing.
Well, we're pretty cool. We're pretty glad that we got Green Sheep. Green Sheep's a pretty cool kid. It's quite scary that he's only 16 and I started doing this 15 years ago. That's really scary. So we're going to expand on Hearthstone. We're going to sign a couple of American players. So we're pursuing that at the moment.
Good.
I was really impressed at BlizzCon with what Blizzard are doing.
Yeah, it went over pretty well, man. So.
Yeah, so you got the new Starcraft expansion. I think we might go Korean for a change. Like we've had Select and we got Seed.
I was going to say, yeah.
So Seed will be at IEM San Jose. He's a replacement for Suppy, I think.
So I think chance of you getting Naniwa back?
No, I saw Naniwa at BlizzCon and we had a joke. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah. I got no problems with him. Like, he's the kind of player that I want. Like, even though he was a complete nightmare to manage, I want players with desire like him to actually want to win. Yeah. So it's quite fun seeing him. Overwatch is going to be interesting. So as soon as I saw that game, I was texting my UK FPS guys, get the squad ready, lads. It's going to be interesting. It just depends on how they do it. So. My worry of FPSs at the moment is even people like me that used to play on most new games of FPS, I'll come in and headshot everybody straight away and it's a very high learning curve for new players. So I really hope Blizzard bring in something that makes it fun and entertaining and puts noob against noob rather than noob against Avec or someone like that, because it's just going to put them off straight away.
Yeah, I had that when Brink came out.
Yeah, exactly.
Our first game was against a bunch of pro Quake players,
Yeah.
And we just got wrecked.
Yeah,
and as it happened, fortunately, the game didn't go anywhere, so that was good.
Yeah, it's not fun. We're looking at Heroes of the Storm for sure.
Yeah, well, you made some tweets, didn't you? There's a storm coming.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, don't you remember that?
Yeah, I think there was actually a storm coming. I was thinking.
No, we're definitely not going to do weather. I follow all your cryptic tweets.
Half of the tweets I don't even know what they mean myself. I guess I get called a troll now, but people just believe anything you say. It's like even my tweets in Chinese and Korean. You look on Reddit, it's like, well, ODEE tweeted in Korean and Chinese. They are getting a Korean and a Chinese. I'm like, are we really? And I'm checking with Elixir, did we? So yeah, just don't believe everything you read on Reddit. It's there's so much more that goes on in esports than what's put on Reddit.
But Heroes of the Storm appeals to you?
Yeah, because Blizzard really seem to be stepping up what they're doing. BlizzCon was pretty amazing, I thought.
Shame I didn't get to go.
Yeah, I've been travelling a lot. First half of this year, I didn't go anywhere hardly. But since May, I haven't stopped.
So what about from an organisational perspective? What have you got planned? Where are you going to be?
So the last 2 months just been shoring up sponsors for next year and 2016. We're in a pretty good place right now, so we're probably going to employ 3-4 people in January.
Nice.
To take some of the work off me and my guys, and give my guys that don't earn much money a bit more money, and then we can go out and build esports, which is ultimately what I want, a sustainable future for esports.
Okay. Well, look, I'll let you do some quick plugs, and then we'll wrap it up. So, I'm guessing you want to thank all your sponsors. Now, I make all your players do this without looking. So.
Yeah, but we have so what I do, if you can't remember them, sit up, and then lean, and then lean. Yeah, but of course, we like to thank all of our sponsors. Without that, we can't do what we do. The fans are amazing. We've got so many at the moment. It's a record. Last month was a record for hits on a website, Twitch viewers, Twitter, Facebook. There's so many people watch us. Want to thank Twitch especially at the moment because they've changed everything. Without Twitch, I think we'd still be stuck in 2009. Thank you to everybody, and thank you for the people that don't believe everything you read on Reddit.
And just one quick thing, since you said you're doing so well, are we going to see the Dignitas dong come back to the merchandise store?
Maybe, because one of the guys that we want to bring in will look at our shop and stuff. We cannot cope. We've done it all in house since day one. But now you can go to ESL's website and buy it. You can go to Max FPS and buy it, which relieves a lot of the pressure of actually shipping it out. ODEE, where's my hoodie? It's like they're coming. They're in stock in other places now. So stuff like that is where esports is developing fast. So it's not just our team. Many teams are selling merchandise in places like that. There's lots of new revenue streams coming in. Lots more people are being actually employed rather than the volunteers. And again, just to say, that'll be my plug. Most of the people that are now employed in esports, they volunteered. So think about that one, kids. There you go.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah.
So there you go. That was the great Michael ODEE Odell, a true veteran in the scene in more ways than one. Not a 23-year-old veteran. So we're going to take a quick break now, and we'll be right back in the Twitch Lounge with more interviews shortly.